Hello, and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we will discuss about projects and users. Now that we have a working OpenShift cluster, and we are able to access the UI and CLI, let us start going through some of the concepts in much more detail. We will start with projects. A large Kubernetes cluster can host lots of pods in hundreds of deployments with various services and endpoints configured. The same large infrastructure can be shared by various teams working on different applications. Sharing the same infrastructure with different teams, however, may not be a good idea, as there are no restrictions as to who can access what resources, since the entire platform is shared between different teams. Users will also need to coordinate on the names they use for their applications, as this setup does not allow for two users to create a deployment or service with the same name. A project in OpenShift allows users to organize and manage their contents in the OpenShift environment. It helps teams isolate their work from other teams sharing the same infrastructure. It allows us to manage access to resources for various users. Projects are built on top of Kubernetes constructs known as namespaces. Using namespaces, Kubernetes automatically prefixes a name of your choice to the objects you create in your namespace, thereby providing some basic grouping functionality for resources. OpenShift projects builds on this functionality to provide complete grouping and isolation of resources that is seamless to users. The user simply creates a project and deploys the application and no longer worry about managing namespaces underneath. All of that is taken care by OpenShift automatically. OpenShift comes with built-in user management features. There are three types of users available: regular user, system user, and service accounts. Regular users are developers and others who interact with OpenShift for developing and deploying applications on a regular basis. They go simply by the name of the users, such as developer. System users are used for interacting with the infrastructure, such as cluster administrator, or a user created for each node in the cluster. OpenShift creates some of these users by default, such as the system admin and system master users. Note that system users can be identified by a system prefix on the usernames. The third type is service accounts, which can be created as needed for each project. These user accounts are for enabling communication between various services within our application. For example, an account used by the web server for accessing the database. Service accounts have a prefix of System Service Account on the usernames. OpenShift Master includes a built-in OAuth server that is responsible for authenticating and authorizing users into the OpenShift cluster. For all-in-one mode of setup, such as the one we deployed with Minishift, the default OAuth configuration is set to an Allow All identity provider. That allows any user to log in with any password. If the user doesn't exist within the system, it is automatically created when the user tries to log in for the first time. The password is never verified in this setup. In case of an advanced installation, the Deny All identity provider is used, and this denies access for all users. The administrator then needs to manually create and enable new users. This behavior can be changed by modifying the master configuration file located at etc OpenShift master master-config.yaml. Let us head over to the demo and take a look at projects and users in action. That's it for this lecture, and I'll see you in the next lecture.